Are eggs really the perfect superfood, or could they actually be causing your gut issues? And I'm asking this in the context of some of my irritable bowel syndrome content where I recommend avoiding eggs in the beginning, and people freak out because eggs are a superfood. There is nothing wrong with consuming eggs. Why are you saying this? So here's the thing. We've been raising chickens on our homestead for eggs and meat for years. And today, I'm going to crack open the truth about eggs, yolks, whites, and everything in between. Welcome to the Primal Shift Podcast. You know, eggs are often called nature's perfect food, but as someone who's passionate about nutrition and optimizing health, I've learned there is a lot more to eggs than meets the eye. So let's dive into what makes eggs so special and what you might want to watch out for. Think about it. This little egg contains everything a chick needs to grow and thrive. In fact, after the chick hatches, it can sustain itself for up to 3 days on the egg yolk and nothing else. That's unbelievable. You know, and that's because those eggs, and specifically the yolk, they are packed with nutrients. And it's no wonder that eggs have been a dietary staple for centuries. But here's the thing, not all parts of the egg are created equal. So let's talk about the yolk versus the white. The yolk is where the magic happens. It's the nutritional powerhouse loaded with fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K, along with healthy and essential fatty acids. The egg white, it's mostly water and proteins, and here is where some people run into trouble. Egg whites are designed to cushion the chick and protect it, not to fuel it. In other words, the egg white is a waste product that has zero nutritional value to the chick. They contain proteins, or the egg whites contain proteins like avidin, which can bind to biotin and prevent its absorption, and other compounds that can irritate your gut, especially if you have IBS or other digestive issues. And that's where my recommendation, avoid eggs in the beginning, stemmed from. And so it tickles me whenever I see egg white omelets on menus in restaurants, or I overhear people ordering them. They are basically ordering an omelet made out of trash. Unbelievable. But people for some reason think that's where the protein is. In fact, the egg yolk has much more protein than the white, but that's a different story. Now, I've tested this myself and heard from others who've done the same. When people cut out egg whites, especially undercooked ones, they often notice less bloating and better digestion. And that's because undercooked whites can be harder to digest, and those anti-nutrients are still active. I'd like to thank Peluva for sponsoring this week's episode. Peluva is the brand behind my favorite zero-drop minimalist shoes with the distinctive 5-toe design that allows for correct dynamic movement of the foot when walking or running. The latter is impossible when toes are encased in a single box, even a white box. I love my Peluvas because they give me the most authentic barefoot style experience, but with sufficient cushioning to use them all day, even on hard surfaces. Peluvas are also incredibly stylish, and I really like how they look. I've been using my Peluvas during intense CrossFit workouts, while walking the dog, and even during a recent 8-day trip to Disney World, and they've been unbelievably comfortable. They feel like walking barefoot on a putting green. Now you can try a pair of Peluvas with no risk by visiting peluva.com. That's peluva.com. So here are my tips for preparing eggs. Number 1, prioritize soft yolks. To get the most out of your yolks, cook them gently, either soft scrambled or better yet, over easy with soft yolks are perfect. Why? Because overcooking the yolks oxidizes some of the polyunsaturated fatty acids like omega-3, making them less beneficial and potentially even inflammatory. So soft yolks, and try to, number 2, either fully cook or completely skip the whites. And if you've got issues, you might want to fully cook the whites or just skip them altogether. There is nothing in those whites that you really need, because by cooking them, it helps denature some of those potentially problematic proteins. But better yet, just remove them and eat the yolks only if you like the taste. Number 3, choose quality eggs. You know, of course, not all eggs are created equal. Look for pasture-raised eggs from healthy hens like the ones we raise on our homestead. They are richer in nutrients, including omega-3s and vitamins, than conventional eggs. Now, here's a pro tip. if you go to the store and you look for pasture-raised eggs and you see on the carton that it says hens raised on a vegetarian diet, you know that those animals were fed a shitty diet, because chickens are not vegetarian. They're insectivores. They're insect-leaning omnivores, and they thrive on animal protein. So if you can, avoid eggs, which is, I think, almost impossible for eggs from the supermarket that were fed exclusively a vegetarian diet, because it does not reflect the ideal diet for chickens. So to wrap it up, are eggs superfoods? Absolutely, if you know how to prepare and enjoy them properly. Focus on the yolk, be mindful of the whites, and choose quality eggs. If you've ever struggled with gut issues, eggs might be worth experimenting with. Start by cutting out the whites and see how you feel. Now, if you're watching this on a platform that supports comments, let me know your comments below. I'd love to hear. Do you eat the yolks, the whites, or both? And if you enjoyed this video and this episode, hit that like button, subscribe for more content on nutrition and healthy living. Until next time, and remember, what you eat matters, and knowing the details can make the difference in how you feel. Make sure you check out the rest of my Primal Shift podcast episodes for more insights, and join me here next week for another deep dive into health and nutrition.
Next time on the Primal Shift podcast, we're diving into the classic parenting struggle. Your kid says they're not hungry, but wants dessert 5 minutes later. Is it hunger or just cravings? We unpack it all, plus why forcing kids to clean their plates might do more harm than good. You won't want to miss this one.